I'm not saying that the pyramids were built by aliens, but
You know what's interesting about that actually is the first half of the plot line until around episode 15 was done by Trigger. After that, it switched to
Oh.
the. It might have been A1 actually.
A1?
That was
Fucking
A1.
makes sense.
It was fucking
That makes
A1 that it
sense.
switched to, and they went off the rails with aliens.
Okay, don't forget, it wasn't just A1. It was A1's D studio.
Yep.
Oh,
Not even their
yeah.
fucking A tier studio, the fucking D tier.
Not the A or B's. It was like D. I think it was C. Like, what's the official, quote unquote official definition for it? It's like their third studio to send it to.
And,
That's
and
why.
I know exactly what scene you're talking about. You're talking about this scene.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm switching in. Holy shit, VC posting.
That entire episode I hated so much. In the following episode, it's literally just we don't know how to set this up to the point where it's a satisfying conclusion.
They had a fucking they set up a good backstory or whatever, like explaining the fucking.
Yeah, they set up a
past
good
they forget.
backstory. The problem was that that's not what they were working towards. They wanted this. They wanted a low point, so they forced a low point. You don't do that.
No, because his team is being like going full retard, basically.
Hey, they only got pregnant once.
Yeah. Yeah, his team goes full retard, even though he's telling them, "Hey, motherfuckers, I want to see her. Just not even see her, just talk to her or whatever. You guys will be in the room." They're like, "Nah, nigga."
Nah, Dino Thought's not good for you, brah.
She
Go with
almost
the blue hair chick.
Yeah, she almost fucking killed you. What? She almost killed you or whatever, even though fucking it's supposed to kill you after 3 times, and that was the 3rd time, and I didn't die, so the rumor is obviously false. So fuck you.
No. You gotta remember, they told him to not go with the Dino Thought, but instead to fuck the blue hair.
Oh yeah, no, I'd go with Dino Thought instead. No, Dino Thought's better.
Blue hair or Dino Thought? You make your pick, young man.
I don't blame him for going with the
No, you can modernity.
the blue hair chick. Is
Return to
fucking
blue
annoying.
for dinosaurs.
The blue hair chick is a fucking annoying cunt.
Reject monkey, return to dinosaur.
Yeah, that literally all the blue chicks hair, fucking blue chicks, Ishigo or whatever. Her entire character is just wanting to fuck him. That's her entire character.
It's kind of pathetic, honestly.
Really pathetic.
She's
Yeah, I
so
don't.
thirsty.
It's so weird because they each gave like the team or whatever. They each gave like somebody on the team their own individual episode, and yet they're just still like one-note characters. They didn't bother like fleshing them out. It was really odd. It was so odd.
Yep.
And also, how do they not know anything about human anatomy or whatever? Like,
You gotta
wouldn't they?
keep them ignorant of it or else they'll fuck.
I know. I'm saying when they ask questions when they get their monthly period or whatever, like what the fuck do we bleed from our vaginas every month?
Wouldn't the men start questioning why they get stiffies every once in a while whenever they're looking at the cute girls?
Yeah.
No, the can get castrated. When
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to play the ignorance angle when it's something that would be like so noticeable, you know.
But with all of that said, I'm gonna switch over to sharing my screen here. But we begin with Literary Offensive with that long ass preamble of like 3.5 minutes plus whatever more there was before. I'm just gonna share my screen right here so you can see what the fuck I have. And with that said, let us begin. We are on Chapter 8. It is called A Faunus's Burden.
Were we on chapter 8? I thought we were on chapter 7.
I think we finished on Chapter 7. Let me go back.
Yeah. Hold on. Go back.
Yeah, we read Chapter 7 already. Or I read it already. So, yeah, we're on Chapter 8.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, we're almost 1/5 the way done.
Don't worry. We get more quote unquote rape this chapter, so don't worry, guys.
Before we start in earnest, I was just doing the preamble there to get things going. You guys feel free to talk. I'm gonna go do something real quick, and
Okay.
we'll get right into it in earnest. Just gonna mute myself here.
Also, another thing I question about Darling in the Franxx now that I think about it, she clearly knows what sex is or whatever fucking O2, but she never fucking explains it to anybody else. At least
So
I think
what's the plot?
fucking the plot is the plot is like if you took Halo and just like shanked it with a shiv and then like fucking came on the open wound, kind of. It's the best description I have for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's
we don't have the fake parrot who's gonna die.
it's
the fake children they're gonna die.
It's basically like I said a long time ago. Earth was inhabited by like another sentient species, and then they fucking fought against these alien invaders, and they were able to drive them off temporarily or whatever to make them flee. But so they like went underground or whatever to hide. Humans evolved on the surface. Humans started drilling underground or whatever for some weird reason, and they found like this magma energy source that like apparently is like a fucking phlebotinum. You can just shove it on anything. and it works.
Phlebotinum.
Isn't that the word for it? Like a magic energy source thing? Isn't that the word for it?
I just like the word phlebotinum.
I think that's what I call it. It may just be a MacGuffin, whatever. It is MacGuffin, but I was trying to think of a better term for it. But yeah, magical magma energy source humans find. Not only does it give you like unlimited energy or whatever, but also if you put it in your body or something, it makes you immortal somehow. But if it makes you immortal, but it also like gets rid of your ability to reproduce. So humankind basically like that combined with global warming forced humans into those like big mega city things or whatever, while also being immortal. They can't reproduce. And then the fucking aliens show up, the ones that hid underground, and they're like, "Hey, stop stealing our magma shit." They start fucking up the humans or whatever. The humans try to like find a solution, and then they're like, "Oh wait, we do need kids to pilot these mech things," and the mech things are actually like repurposed. It's kind of like the nano suit from Crisis, where they just like what is it? Fucking reverse engineered the alien technology and made the mech suits. So then they clone the children or whatever to pilot these suits. And the lower your number, the better you are at piloting them or something. And also the fucking weird scientist man who was like got the cloning process done met with like the alien queen at one point and like somehow stole some of her DNA and then used that DNA to like replicate, and that's what 02, the dinosaur chick is just like a clone of her. And that's the setup. And then throughout the show, they fight them. Him and fucking Hisho and whatever his name is, 02, fall in love. He starts turning into a dinosaur. I joke that she gave him an STD, which is pretty much true.
That's exactly what happens.
Pretty much, yeah. They fight the aliens. They realize the aliens aren't actually the bad guys or whatever. It's the other aliens that come back that are the bad guys. They fight them. And then fucking 02 and whatever his face goes off into outer space to fight them. They go through a wormhole or some shit, and then they shove like a bomb in the alien planet and blow it up, and they both die. And like it's apparently powerful as a fucking supernova. And then the show, what really pisses me off is the show ends or whatever, and like 1,000 years pass, and then like the last scene or whatever is like their two souls like being reincarnated 1,000 years later into these two other kids, and it's retarded, and I hate it.
Retarded bullshit in anime sounds real fucking familiar.
That sounds fucking retarded, but that's what I expect.
Yeah.
So, if you noticed in the server, I added a whole category about writing shit.
Yep.
So.
Where is that?
Oh, it's.
Oh, there
Up
it
in
is.
the writing ship.
It's just above. You're just below the podcast stuff, but that's. I'm posting parts of my book that I'm working on. I'm an author, by the way. That into there, and all this shit that I have going on with that, as slow as the progress is, admittedly, right now. But yeah, feel free to give that a read.
Gotcha.
There is also Discord link in the description of the video or the stream as well. So if you do want to have a look at that, you're free to join. And with that, let's get right into the story. Move my mic so that it's at the proper level. Just adjust.
Maybe you
you
could
can
have
turn up
Mr.
the
Mechanicus
quiet
maybe come
sound.
over and adjust your mic for you.
Oh, I can do it myself, sadly.
There we go.
Oh.
All right.
Now we should be able. Can you guys
Also,
hear me
before
just
we
fine?
start, Lau, what's your username, or what's your fucking, not username,
I can
Jesus
hear you
Christ, what's
fine.
your icon thing for, or what is that from?
Oh, that's from. That's from. What's it from? What's it from? I get the name on my fucking tongue. I watched it like yesterday. It was
It was some trashy anime.
No, it was great. It was Leisner. That was it. Blue Comet SPT Leisner.
Oh.
It looks very
Working.
Halo-y.
Working, yeah, I was gonna say it looks like the Mark V helmet, just painted with a red visor. So
Yeah, it was basically just Gundam, and the mechs look so much like Gundam, despite it being made by the guy that made Rotoms. Also, not a great show, by the way. You should watch that.
I have a
But
long list, Sunny Jim. It's
it
a
was
fucking
so-
long ass list.
It was so. It looks so like the Gundams that they just put a fucking windshield for the head and called it a day.
Fuck it, we're done.
So, anyways, starting with this glorious garbage, this hot flaming pile of shit. Chapter 8, Aphonus's Burden is what it's called. The summary is as follows. Quote, "Where's Blake? There's Blake. Yang's coming for her." Why? I don't know.
Reasons.
Let us continue. Author's note. One thing I want to note. Funny how I say that. One thing I want to note before we begin this. Why do they always have fucking author's notes?
I think it dies off later on.
It is
It's not constant author notes.
It is like such a narcissistic thing, I feel, to have author's notes. Oh, this is what I did. This is what I thought. Here's what you should think about it before you go in. It's like, fuck. I don't care what you think. You're here to entertain me, monkey.
Oh, also, I was browsing some shit, and for the longest time, we thought this was a girl writing this. I'm pretty sure it's actually a guy because he referred to himself as he. So, unless it's a transgender person, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So.
Gotta explore.
It could be. It could be, man.
Could just be a tranny.
I was gonna say, have you read the last chapter of Broken Fangs? I'm pretty damn sure it's a tranny. Yeah.
It might be. If there's some
Kitty.
bending shit, then yeah, probably.
Well, they have a magical character or whatever later on in the last chapter of this fucking thing because nobody cares. By the time we get there, everybody will be dead. But there's a character or whatever who like wants to be a woman, and fucking magical character comes and turns him into a woman. So yeah.
Probably a tranny.
Yeah, Kitty. I will defend the author note here, at least in context of fan fiction, where it's like
You're here for the smut,
it reads.
At
No,
least it's
it
self-aware.
reads. Yeah, it's usually they're self-aware, and it's just like, hey, sorry, just late, blah blah blah. Here it is.
This case is like another chapter, another horrid atrocity against the faunus perpetrated by our ardent heroine Blake Bella. Yeah, you're here for the smut. Onwards. It's like,
Yeah,
at
that's
least they know what you're
narcissism.
here for.
That's self-aware narcissism. The
Still
actual,
narcissism, man.
yeah.
And also,
But-
if you're self-aware, then you should make improvements.
Again, I hate that's an entire rant in of itself. But modern culture thinks that because you're self-aware, that means everything's good. It's like parody. As long as there's parody, you can't critique it, even if it's shit parody and it's not funny.
A shit parody is worse than something that takes itself too seriously.
Oh my god, yeah.
Unironically. Like, you have great parodies for things like isekai, like Konosuba. But then if you look at what and what
ReZero.
saying here, if you look at something like
Special Olympics Zero.
fucking Reno is trying to write, that's a fucking glorious example of a really, really bad quote-unquote parody.
He started out by calling it hate fic, and then he got really confused why Kitty was really angry at him.
Oh, I
Because he-
ripped him a new asshole. And, like,
Because
once
he
you read through some of the shit that I've written there, like the I got a full third of my book right there in the channel. But if you read through the shit that I have written, you'll see exactly why I rip people who don't think properly when they're writing a new asshole.
What's the definition of proper thinking when you're writing?
Because
Planning shit out.
Reno's whole idea was that when he was a child, he got the idea of having a fantasy world where a guy fights God.
Okay.
So basically,
That
my
was-
fucking Dark Heresy character.
That
Yeah,
can be done.
but
Yeah.
that-
I mean,
Yeah,
like you
the
just,
problem was he made that, and his whole idea was, all right, this character's gonna fight God, and eventually he becomes God and gets all these minions and takes over the world. And it's like, and then it'd be like this character study of when you have all the power, where do you go? But
yeah, he becomes the very thing he hates or he fights or whatever. Yeah.
See, that could
Yeah,
be
that was
interesting.
the
That what was built up to.
the problem is he forgot why he originally wanted to write it, because that was just supposed to be one plot point
Oh.
and like a line. And I
Oh.
think at some point I got him into a corner where it's like, oh yeah, everything just ends because he's like, I'm done with this shit, just suicides, and the entire world just ends. And that was the idea because
Oh,
I was
he didn't-
like,
I was gonna say he didn't have like just filler episodes like in an anime where you just I don't know they're fucking
He just
fighting
filler
over
fucking episodes
bathroom.
in his book.
they're fighting over the bathroom or something. I don't know.
he's been working on this thing for 30 years, by the way.
I
And
think
he
it
has
was longer
gotten-
than 3 years. I think it was closer to like 4 fucking years. And he's done like 5 chapters total. My book, I've been working on it for better part of a year, so I'd say about 9 months now.
I mean, I know that you started about 3 months after we began playing, so
Yeah, so
well,
around
about
December.
a year.
Yeah, it's almost been a year.
About a year.
It's almost been a
Really,
year.
write more books.
I'm trying. I got into a really bad kind of groove when it came to dialogue with a certain character, but now I'm done with all that, and it's smooth sailing. I'm going to be working on that as soon as I'm done with the podcast. I've been doing a steady, like, 3-4 pages a day for the last 2 weeks.
I'd
Nice.
be curious to send you a guy called Lord Commander Dunn. He's pumped out like 6 fantasy books just this year.
Oh yeah,
I
I'd love
could
to see.
Okay, I could do that if I did the Stephen King model of 5 pages a day.
And fucking get real high on cocaine. That's the Stephen King model.
But yeah, the problem is that people praise Stephen King for his fucking horror. The thing is, the thing people are usually afraid of is people that butcher his work, because his work are usually terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, his work is not that great. It is very often quite rushed.
They have
So-
he has good ideas though, just not good execution. So.
Yeah. Like, I'm
Remember
going to
the
give
sewer
Stephen
rape
King
thing?
some fucking credit where credit's due. He does a lot of work, and he does a lot of work very quickly, and he has some really good ideas, but his execution isn't great.
Ideas
And it
and
can be
working a lot to not make quality.
true. So his ideas could be improved a lot, and, sometimes they are. Sometimes a novel, or not a novel, a movie adaptation fixes a lot of those issues. Because some of them are with pacing and such, or with the atmosphere, because a lot of it's horror. So if you fix the atmosphere around it, can get like that spooky music and kind of focus in on the existential dread and all that. You can get some really good stuff going. But in literary form, that can be very difficult, because I've been stuck in this horror kind of setting for a little while in my book. It's very difficult to do horror well.
In literature.
And like, I'm going to do a lot of writing or editing passes over my work to make sure I'm actually doing it well. And I already feel like I have an idea of where I need to improve, but I am going to be throwing that at you all to just give some ideas about where my deficiencies are.
If you need me to spot check for like grammar errors or whatever, let me do that. I'm pretty good at that.
I use weird grammar intentionally.
Oh, okay.
So
But that's still not an excuse for bad grammar.
Yeah.
True. So I use weird grammar for things like certain characters. Certain characters speak in a very old way, meaning I use old grammar, I use old letters at times even, like Thorn and F. And, like, it's for effect. It's intentionally fancy and flowery, but I try to keep it out of purple prose, But anyways.
I don't even remember. What was it I critiqued your original thing you posted for?
So I've sent you 3 things now. The first one was the opening to the book, the first 3 pages or so, which
Oh
is
yeah, I read that one. That was alright.
I think it's pretty good still. I have made some edits
Yeah.
to it and improved it a little bit, but I think it gets a
Okay.
good, solid grasp of the tone. The second thing that I posted was
There's
a
the one scene
conversation.
with the tarot cards.
No, the second thing that I posted was a discussion between a character and another character. Actually, there's been 4 things that I posted then. So 2 were discussion pieces between 2 characters where I was trying to set up a relationship between them and how they kind of viewed each other. For the first one, it was standoffish. For the second one, it was very familial. Third one, or the fourth one rather, was the tarot scene. And that one,
Yeah, it was tarot scene. I remember clearly, very clearly.
that one I had to really rewrite because it was nowhere near in depth enough.
I remember, I don't quite remember what I said, but I think I said something along the lines of, there is not enough tension here.
It wasn't.
Things just go,
You didn't
things
say
are
that there
just
wasn't enough
too
tension.
flat.
You said that there was not enough depth.
Yeah, that
Like,
was that's
I'm
just,
trying to set up this spooky scene that's supposed to ratchet up tension in the plot itself, and kind of describe that there's more shit going on than what meets the eye, and that other things are happening around the character that the character doesn't know about. And I failed to get that off at all with the first draft. So I had to
yeah, I
go
remember there
back
was
and
like,
delete the entire thing, and now it's like 4 times the length.
there was like one mention of shadows, and this is why I was like, wait, go back, oh!
Now these some of the descriptions I've gotten there are fucking insane. So I can actually open up a document here.
Can we get to the Blake torture already?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
We should start. This isn't. I was gonna say we don't. This isn't EFAP yet. We don't have 11 hours. We can't spend the first 2 hours of the video or the podcast just talking about random
Yes,
shit.
we can. So,
I mean, we can spend the entire podcast about talking about random shit. It's fun.
Yeah.
but we need to get through this chapter.
Yes, we do. Anyways, starting off. Blake hit the ground hard. Her mind was foggy and clouded as she did, her eyes searching for something which made sense. An irritating smell invading her nostrils. A kick landed in her ribs, making her roll onto her back. She panted, groaning, looking at the people above her. The room was small and had walls that looked to be made out of wood. A drain in the middle spoke of something that she didn't quite understand. It's a fucking torture cell, you dumb thought.
What is this mystical room? Woman, this is a McDonald's. What is this mystical word?
It smells like grease.
What is this? What is this mystical place? Ma'am, this is an Arby's drive-through.
Do you sell civil rights here?
Do you sell civil?
No, we're all out of civil rights.
Do you sell a victim complex here?
Have you heard of Adolf Smittler?
Do you have any magical tonics that can change you from a guy into a woman?
No, we
Have
only
you
have ones
seen,
that can make you grow a penis. We call them the futas.
Oh.
Hey, have you
Anyways.
seen this guy? I think he's called Benito Swagolini.
Benito Swaglini! Oh my god.
Nah, man, it's Benito Muscle.
Benito Muscle. Oh god, we have to continue. We have to fucking continue.
Yes.
Awake now, revolutionary. She could hear a rough male voice speak, her eyes finding a tall man standing there, his bony frame looking like it had been malnourished for years, the sunken cheeks giving the appearance of a corpse, a single horn standing there from his forehead, thick and edged upwards. She gasped as another kick hit her in the stomach. No words, have you? Your talk of revolution got some of our friends killed. We don't appreciate that. The man's words spoken in
They're
an
the
angry...
woman. They don't give a shit.
The man's words spoken in an angry, soft voice were heard through a haze of pain that welled up inside of her as she was helped up by rough hands. She smelled sweat, pain. What the fuck does pain smell like?
I don't know.
She smelled sweat, pain, and blood as
I
she
smell your pain.
as she coughed and straightened. You should fight! She tried, yet someone hit her in the...
Shouldn't be cried.
Eyes are open, dumb fuck. Yet someone hit her in the face. Fight and die, girl. These collars aren't for show, and it's only those who are trusted to never harm the master and mistresses that get to be chipped. The man's tone held no appreciation as she tried to get back into the swing of things. The pain continued, with her eyes never letting up. You should still try. We are a proud race. The man looked at her in disgust. She didn't understand. Faunus should be together. The tiger had spoken the words, and she had known her. The tiger calls for blood. Know that with her leadership, we will be free once more. Free to take the humans down. A queen of the furnace, that is what you are. The word queen was spoken with distaste, even as she recoiled at the thought. The furnace had no king or queen that could speak for the people. To call someone such a thing was to imply that they were the savior to lead them to a better place. She was no more aware that she was naked now.
She was more aware.
She was more aware that she was naked now. The men holding her forced her to her knees. Regrettable. But to make sure that we all survive, you have to be punished. The mistress usually discards those slaves that are too damaged. I'm sure that the young master will forget you. It is better for us. The tone of the man was almost regretful as he turned away. She could feel the people step aside, and then felt a claw against her back. Traitors deserve to suffer. That was my brother you killed, you bitch. What? Traitors deserve to suffer. That was my brother you killed, you bitch. A female voice hissed as pain lanced through her body. The claw dug through her flesh, tearing into skin, ripping it out. Blood flowed from the wound as a long line was drawn. It had been pain, raw and intense, as she felt... Why are we going over this again?
Because writing.
It had been pain, raw and intense, as she felt the claw rip into her skin, the tears leaking from her eyes. She called out to them for something resembling sanity, yet all she got was a distasteful look from those around her. A word had been carved into her flesh, and she knew the general shape of it. They had their own language, even if it was hardly practiced. She gasped and groaned in pain, the smell of blood in her nostrils. Don't worry. We will make sure that the ones only break your will. Mistress Auburn would have you service the master's stallion. Oh, no. But you will make do for the ones who still can. The words were giving her a chill as she remembered the video that she'd seen, shuddering. Oh no.
Also, can I just point out the fact that she doesn't cry, she just springs a leak? Like, it just fucking leaks tears.
Oh yeah, she's
crying,
she's
but not actually crying.
She's just leaking. Because she's a strong faunus warrior. A strong
Cook.
warrior.
Who wants that cook?
Again, that's why I said we will be free once more. That one didn't age quite so well.
Quite so well.
A look of seriousness was on the man's face, even as the pain started, the following word being carved into her skin by the woman's claws. Blake didn't understand why they were so mad at her. She spoke the truth. Humans should not be served by the faunus.
Because you wouldn't shut the fuck up, and because you wouldn't shut the fuck up, a bunch of their relatives got killed, so, yeah.
Literally, why are you booing me? I'm right.
Why are you bullying me? Why are you hitting
I'm right.
me? Why am I hitting myself? Why am I hitting myself? Why am I hitting myself? I know the son of the ox. The information that was to be kept there as pain lanced through her back. The woman hit her in the back of the head.
Stop moaning. It makes me uncomfortable.
Who will come to relieve us of our bondage? Who will make you be his queen? Give it up, girl. Just accept your lot in life. The horned man spoke, his voice callous and cold. The young master is perhaps the kindest of the lot, yet he only sees you like an animal. You will be replaced, even with your beauty. I'm Blake Belladonna, daughter of Kira and Callie. I am the Panther's daughter. The desperation in her voice as she unveiled the information of her parentage. What?
What was the sentence?
Okay, start of the sentence. The desperation in her voice, comma, as she unveiled the information of her parentage. Period.
That's not an actual sentence, because that doesn't have a, what is it? Doesn't have a fucking, fuck, I'm forgetting basic English right now. It doesn't have, like, a fucking subject, right? Is that what the word is? Subject, adjective, verb, noun.
It's not a fucking structured sentence.
No, it's not a structured sentence. I'm trying to forget what makes it not a structured sentence, but I'm blanking right now.
The fact that it's trash?
Adam
It doesn't have like a noun. It says because like to them or whatever. The desperation in her voice as she unveiled the information of her parents' heritage to them or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just parentage.
It's missing a noun.
It's missing a noun, ladies and gentlemen.
Who is she talking to?
Adam was one thing. He could never have been controlled, yet her parents were a special existence. The claw on her back hesitated. My father fought for peace and equality, to be freed from the yoke of humanity. The claw returned, carving into her flesh another line to form the word. Well, he's not here to defend you, is he? I remember Gira Belladonna, a speaker for our cause, a man of morals and principle, not a violent man, yet he was moved by things beyond our people.
Not a violent man. Keep that in mind for later.
That's gonna be right cut to shit.
The horned man looked at her, shaking his head regrettably. You will probably be mourned by them, but I will not mourn you. Why? Pain. The wound aching and hurting. She wanted to know why, as she felt the last line be etched into her skin. Because your talk of revolution will get us all exterminated, girl. To take you under my protection is to murder my own kind. We can't have that. The man spoke calmly as his eyes looked at her. She felt filthy, the blood dripping down her back, her ears flat on her head as she was held there. The ones who will take care of you will be here soon. There are quite a few people who lost a spouse. Wait. The ones who will take care of you will be here soon. There are quite a few people who lost their spouse thanks to your talk of our owners. But that would be too good for you. The words were flat, even as she felt the shudder of something go through her, as she looked around in the cell that they kept her in. They are raping scum! Why would you let yourself be subjugated by those beasts? The eyes flared up, the man's gaze narrowing. Leave her. She'll realize after a few hours that she's better off conforming. They left her there, but not before giving her a kick to the face. Blake felt her teeth rattle as she dazedly looked up. You think that our owners are the ones who rape, do you? She felt groggy as she saw the man step back. The door was opened and 3 men were pushed in. Strong bodies looked like they had been made especially for labor, as they looked like they had been forged especially for the purpose of something. Their nakedness clear as she saw the engorged cocks that stood bare between their legs. One of them bore no visible faunus trait save for the equine.
Yeah, their fondest trait is they have a horse cock. Fuck it, I don't care anymore.
Equine phallus that stood between his legs. Truly something abhorrent, even with the hazard look in their eyes, as the gazes directed themselves to her. She was dimly aware that the woman had been there with them, and had not been there anymore as they looked at her.
I'm not a racist, I just don't like you.
I'm not a racist, I just wanna kill them all.
Again, this is making me feel like the genocide of natives was justified.
Oh, baby, we're only on chapter 8. It gets better.
Oy vey.
It gets so much better.
I can tell. Again, if only there were more natives like kitties, we wouldn't get shit like this.
Another breeding sound, boys. Get at her, since you've always wanted to fight for the furnace. Then, be a good mother. Your children will thank you for your sacrifice.
You sound like a goddamn goblin from Lord of the Rings. I love it. Dying noises.
No! Wait. This was it. She was going to be raped by her own kind as a punishment for simply wanting their freedom. Her body ached, and the wounds on her back bled. She felt weak, the drug in her system still throbbing, still robbing her of her strength. The door slammed shut. She raised her hand as if to defend herself. 9, please!
Oh, 9, das ist nicht good. Oh, no!
I'm just imagining that one goblin from, I think it's the second movie, where it's like, look at these ones. They look fresh. But with a horse cock,
boss.
that's just how horse cock out of nowhere.
The fucking horsecock comes. From now on, he is simply known as Horsecock. Okay. She pleaded, yet rough hands grabbed a hold of her. She could smell the sexual fluids on them, the unwashed scent of those who had been put to use as breeders to keep the population up.
What population?
The faunus population, because they're fucking murdering them constantly, I guess. I don't know.
Apparently.
And they also outnumber humanity somehow.
Faunus seem to just spring out fucking nowhere when the plot demands it, and just seem to shrink when the plot needs rape.
No, that's also true in the show as well. So, well, not the
That's
rape part, but them springing up out of nowhere.
You see, they are products of abiogenesis.
In my fanfic, I just said I'm going to chalk their existence up to either magic or the gods, because I'm not explaining this shit through evolution. Fuck you.
Oh, boy.
Evolutionary traits like these would be, harvested for warfare.
A soft whimper escaped her as she felt something hit her in the cheek, hit her in her cheek. What? There are 2 words there that are not fucking necessary.
What, don't you have things that hit you in your cheek?
A trail of off-white fluids dripping against her flesh. A crashing sound, and the door slammed right back on one of the men, bowling it over.
Hey, is this a private party, or am I invited too?
She felt the hands grope her as she was lifted up. They seemed not to pay much attention, having been domesticated to do what their handlers instructed them to do. She could see the blonde traitor stand there, her fists half extended, still wearing the maid outfit. The breeder, who'd been bowled over, moaned as the blonde stepped in. One of the men moved to her, looking at her with hazy eyes.
No. If you want this gorgeous babe, you've got to be the owner.
The words were spoken with a hint of flirtatiousness though the expression on the blonde's face was deadly, a sharp look, lilac eyes turning red.
And you are not, honey.
Wait. The deer moved to grab at the blonde traitor, the deer faunus dodging the lunge, her hand burying itself into the gut of the man, bowling him over with a single punch.
The type of men I like.
Her foot shot down, banging the man's head against the ground. The man went down. The man went down, even with Blake realizing that the one holding her was already angling himself up to penetrate her. Fear went through her, even as the blonde moved, an arm wrapping around the neck of the man that was lifting.
I have no clue where everyone is.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea either. Then lifting the man off of her. The man twice the blonde's size at the least, and double the weight, slamming him into the ground.
Master Jean wants me to bring you back.
What?
The blonde said, even as the third man approached, her gaze looking at him.
If you want to keep being able to move, you stay back, buddy. I've had a lot of dicks, but I've never really wanted to have a horse sausage.
Dialogue 10 out of 10.
Your roast beef sandwich can already handle it. Shut the fuck up, thought. The man went for her anyways, and the blonde moved in a flash, her punch to the man's temple, knocking him out. Why not punch him in the dick?
It's hanging right there. Please just punch it.
My god, it would give me at least a bit of a laugh here. Knocking him out, the body slamming against the floor. With how easy the woman had moved, it was obvious that she'd had training. The collar around the neck of the blonde traitor hadn't even beeped once as Blake looked up at her.
Now, Black, up you go. Can you stand?
She heard the question, how can a question stare?
The question stared at her.
She heard the questions just staring at her.
I think it means Blake just stared at her or whatever, like in shock, but it's fucking horribly written, so.
She looked around. The men knocked
out silly. Yeah, knocked
silly or out. No, that's not fucking phrasing, you dumb piece of shit.
You're expecting too much. You're expecting too much.
The men knocked silly or out, the blonde leaning forward. Deep cleavage was visible as the hand was extended. She took the hand that was offered, looking at the blonde, who offered her a tense smile, seemingly to comfort her.
Did they fuck you already?
She shook her head lightly. She felt numb. Her back hurt. She felt the pain.
Good. We've got to get you to some kind of place where I can look at your back. That looks like it hurts.
The other girl's eyes were a lilac color, not the blazing red that they had been. Blake, feeling hope blossom inside of her,
inside her at the sight of the womanly features of the dear faunus. This woman could fight. She was a traitor, but she could fight, at least a little. It would be better if she had aura, but that was a pipe dream. Unlocking aura was a skill that not many of the freed faunus had, so their own defenses were always short up, especially to deal with the grim that came for them.
Well,
It's called a gun
Sister,
to deal with the.
The blonde placed a finger against her lip, singular lip, looking into her eyes. Oh, no, 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 no. None of that sister crap. If we're caught getting together to serve our master and he wants us to do sister play, that's fine. But nothing like the shit that you're yapping on about. Blake felt light as the other girl raised her up on her shoulder. You're going to listen to me, Blake. If master didn't send me, you'd be currently getting pumped full of jizz by Huey, Louie, and Dewey over there. And I'm not doing this for you.
yes, we get it, you're a psychopath.
Blake felt the pain increase as the blood moved her hand around easily. I'm doing this for our man. The term was spoken with affection, with a hint of something more than just the owner's sentiments. Blake could imagine that it'd be like a girl who liked someone speaking about the subject of their feelings. Why would you like him? He's scum. The blonde slammed her against the wall. The ache in her back increasing.
I do love the Blake torture porn early on in this fucking fanfic. Oh, that's great.
My lord all fucking mighty.
Just froze against the wall. How dare you?
How dare you question our master? He's a good boy who didn't do nothing.
I wish he'd just done the fucking last year. I was like, how could you love him? He is scum! Rebel scum!
This scum has cream pied me 4 times. Don't ever call him scum. He's worth more than you know. You don't know what it's like to be in the city. I guess they didn't teach you that at revolutionary school. Blake gritted her teeth as she spoke up. The previous events had hurt her, yet she would never lose her pride. Maybe if you got dicked down good enough by them, it would.
What?
None of that. I can see that look in your eyes. If you don't shut up, I'll break your neck and tell the masters that if it's something else.
Oh, she suddenly got a very sharp turn there.
Oh yeah. Welcome to
she's-
the Yang. Welcome to Yangtown.
Fucking yandere, apparently. No, she's yangdere.
Oh!
Katie, I am going to teleport to Canada just so I can hunt you down like the filthy animal you are for making that pun. I love you, man.
That's a pun
No
that
homo.
Yang would actually like to, motherfucker. God damn it.
Oh my
Yes,
god,
I
I'm
hate it.
terrible.
Yeah, she'd be like, yay. It'd be like that one politician, yeah.
All right, time for genocide. Where's the flamethrower?
Where is the Flammenwerfer?
Brothers,
Hans!
brothers, I need the flamers, the heavy flamers.
Hans, where are the Flammenwerfers? I'm gonna pour myself a
Hans, can I then the Flammenwerfer?
I earned myself a drink after making that pun.
Certainly do.
Do tell me at some point the writing gets better or just more insane. Because I'm getting really tired of, why aren't you fighting against them? At some point she's gotta be like, alright, I get it, you're all brainwashed.
Oh, trust me, the writing does get insane. It just takes a long fucking time for it to get to true insane levels.
Alright, at which point does Blake just realize that these fuckers don't care about her?
Lal, I can tell you. Hold on, I can fucking find the fucking, hold on, Lal, hold on. I can fucking find the line.
Pull out my fucking impression.
Richtofen impression. Hold on, I can find the line. It's in the latest chapter, which is chapter, hold on,
59.
Chapter 54, there's a line from Blake who fucking randomly pops up after being absent for like 15 chapters. And she says, the fucking... where the-
the glorious human overlords, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the Indians did, darling.
Here we go. Chapter 54. After fucking what's her face turns the person into a woman or whatever. Here we have the lines from her that says she had to admit that it had been true. John Arc was not a bad man, not a bad master. Her mother had been saying that she should be kind in chapter 54. So
So even mommy was like, "No, you're a bitch. You should be happy with him."
Mommy was getting dicked by John. Yeah. So.
You're killing Kitty.
I'm glad.
You're killing Kitty before it's time. Please stop. I need him for my 40k game.
And don't worry, she was dicking both John and her dad at the same time. It was not awkward and disgusting at all.
Ah, so they're not even cuckolding, it was wife sharing.
Oh yeah, that's the not even.
Yes, the Indian way.
That's not even the fucking least of it. Keep going, baby.
You mean the harem breed way?
Absolutely.
Our species is nearing extinction, but we must share the human females with our blood brothers.
Wait, what? Wasn't it more faunas than humans?
No, he's not actually reading from the thing.
Oh, thank God.
No, that'd make it even fucking worse somehow.
I'd say you just made it worse. You just made it worse.
We must share the cat girls with our blood brothers. Our clansmen require more pussy.
Of both kinds, you see.
I just want one like real-time strategy game to say we require more pussies.
Sir, we require more pussy. And it's just a faction that uses cats as power.
Yeah.
Anyways, continuing on. Listen here, Missy. You don't know what it's like or how fucking lucky you are that you've got a man who cares for you. Life can be good for us, and I'm not going to let your bullheaded comments get people killed. The blonde was fierce as she pulled her away. Blake felt the blood leak down her back and some more. Oh, wait. Down her back some more. The wound's still bleeding. Yeah, I should fucking hope so. They tore off your skin, dumb bitch.
That is
a bit of
fine.
muscle too.
We should... The blonde said nothing but a simple "shut up" to
Thank
her
you.
as she dragged her along. Blake didn't speak anymore as she felt her throat closing up, her words dying on her lips. Notice that her tits are still hanging out. And nobody cares.
Who cares at this point?
Yeah, I asked around to tavern and all, but others do. Blake felt the nausea rise in her as she was pulled up to a door, the blonde opening it for her. The smell was strong and herbal, smelling like disinfectant. I got her, but she's got a few cuts on her back.
Mother, I got the stray cat home. She has a few cuts on her back.
I got the cat haw. She's a little bit damaged, so.
German Valley Girls.
Yang was annoyed. Blake had decided to flee like some scared bitch afraid of the dick that had been coming for her, speaking such terms as revolution and rapist, as if it mattered anything what the humans called her. She knew that Master Jean would want her to bring back Blake Black intact. The feeling inside of her was fluttery and calm at the same time, as she felt the faith that he seemed to have in her. You couldn't stop the feeling she knew, the feeling of being trusted, of having faith, having the
faith of someone to lead things to proper places. It wasn't her will to deny those feelings in the slightest. She just wanted to be happy.
Have fun with these next lines.
The image of herself with a swollen belly, her master's hand on her stomach as he smiled at her, came to her once more. The pride of a mother, of someone who would give her baby the love that it needed. It was one of the things that drew her to him. He was a weak young man. His skill at control was abominable, yet she worked him over gently. He was sweet. He cared, at least a little. At times, the stomach ache grew even heavier, especially when he called her a good girl. Yeah, you stupid fucking dog.
You're so easy to manipulate. Also, who joined?
Who joined? Who joined?
Cap.
Oh, who's here? Who's here?
Cap,
Who
join.
joined?
Oh, boy.
Hoi.
Cap,
boy.
get that coconut ready. I need you to kill me soon.
Yay! So, Cap, I
I'm
guess
in.
your Pathfinder game ain't going nowhere then, eh?
Or his mic is broken. I don't know.
Well, no, you said earlier that he has a Pathfinder game today. But,
So much for that.
apparently.
Or he's just listening to us.
Could be that, too. Could
Good
be
for that.
Yeah, I'm just listening to you guys right now.
Okay.
I have a nice
You missed.
strong
you missed-
skin coat.
You missed the faunus, whose only faunus trait is horsecock,
Yeah, you missed Horsecock.
who sounded like Lord of the Ring goblins.
Also do reverse like Elmo.
You missed Blake getting chucked against a wall, which made me laugh.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know
wait,
how much.
wait,
I know
wait.
how much you hate Blake. You just hate her so much that you just want to fuck her.
I hate
Nah.
fucking. Yes, I fucking do hate fucking. I'm fine with that.
Mein Kamerad, I can do the German Elmo voice as well.
Just because somebody is a fucking despicable human faunus being and I want them to fucking die horribly doesn't mean I can't admit that they're slightly attractive. So.
I can.
One cannot be attractive if your personality is absolute garbage.
Well, I mean physically attractive, not personality attractive. Genius.
That is
That was an
heresy.
Heresy!
I have to stop that voice.
Oh, you're gonna kill me.
Motherfucker, we're not even halfway through yet. Let's keep going.
Oh boy, we aren't even halfway through. Going strong.
It was not a term fit for a human, but she felt sweet, good. She wanted him to growl her name in her ear as he came, to feel how he owned her. The slave pens were fairly expensive, she guessed. The building reeked of bodies that had been barely washed and cum.
God,
Stale-
this is actual fucking dialogue somebody sat down and spent their time writing for money.
The stale air like a haze, her refined senses barely bristling at the smell of feces and urine and cum. She was
Jesus.
tracking the scent, knowing that it would get lost. The scent had been recognized, and she knew it. So there was no fear. Blake was here. Have no fear, Blake is here.
She'll rant about revolution and cut your balls off or something.
And get your balls cut off is more accurate.
Hmm.
The collar, the collar around her throat bore the symbol of the main house slaves. Access was granted easily, even with several of the overseers giving her a look. Those trusted enough to care for their fellow faunus were often the sort who had been imbued with the privilege due to their attitude or the perks that came with it. What?
Wait, would Blake be a torture stew?
Wait, what? What'd you say?
Would Blake count as a torture stew since the plot in this universe, or how the system is set up, is that if you're a bad slave, eventually the masters are just like the entire idea is that the masters are killing the slaves because of her. So the slaves would just start killing her to fix the problem. But the story itself desires that she stays alive so she can continue suffering. So she'd be a torture
continue suffering, and also because John can't stick his dick in Yang yet or whatever until the STD tests are done, so he needs to stick his dick in Blake instead. No
But that still sounds like some extreme torture Sue bullshit. That's like the story needs her to be tortured 24/7.
I was gonna say, like I said, up until like the last chapter, fucking chapter 54, all Blake does is bitch and complain and rant and fucking find ways to try to like escape or whatever and get tortured / fucked, and yeah, that's about it.
So torture Sue.
Pretty much.
Anyway.
She followed the smell, watching a door open and a horned faunus stepping out with several others, some having gone in. The scent was like a hazy cloud in the air, noticeable to her strong nose, even with the horned faunus moving along. Her ears were primed, hearing the conversation around her. She punched her door, the aura imbuing her fist, the door slamming outward, flying away. I should moderate my strengths a little. She didn't want to make the human suspect that she'd that much strength, as she sized up the guys that were around Blake. She made the snap judgment that these were definitely not allowed to touch Blake. They looked like hopped-up runts, though her mind told her that it was likely that these had been the ones who had been chosen to produce the healthiest slaves, with their giant fucking horse cocks. Her aura ignited as she took down the first one. She was focused, even as her lips formed the words that would attract the attention. Focus on them, one by one. The words of her father came to her as she took them down, watching the cat faunus on the ground, still kneeling. Defiant amber eyes watched her, a glint in them of near worship, as she rolled her shoulders slowly, the battle high working down. Her knuckles hurt, yet she was still unharmed, untouched by the men, unraped by their cocks.
Just reminder, she needs the cook.
I am a mollusk. The more you write, like the more you read, I'm more mollusk. Somebody just sat down with a straight face and wrote this for money.
Oh yeah.
I am adding things just to make this more entertaining, and you would never tell that I am adding them in random fucking places.
I'm just like, I'm more a mollusk by the fact that your inclusions fit to a T.
Asking her whether she could stand, Yang let her eyes look over the girl. Blood dripped from the girl's back, the killer instinct inside her rising. Blood always made her a little antsy, a little sharper, a little wetter, but it would not have to do.
But it would not have to do. That's
but
not
it would
a fucking...
have to do. Not have to do.
But it would have to do, okay.
Read, nigga, read.
I misread that horribly.
The whiskey is coming on.
No.
No.
She wasn't going to let the man who owned her hold... She wasn't going to let the man who owned her hold a bad slave. No, she had pride in her skill.
She's moving her hands like an educated prostitute.
Oh my lord. Oh Lord all fucking mighty. Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus, give me one moment here.
Are we really reaching this point?
Jesus fucking Christ, like I said, we're not even halfway through, Mother of God. Kitty, hurry the fuck up!
No, yo. The night is still young.
Fuck, if you need me to read this, I'll fucking read this shit real quick.
No.
God damn it.
No, I keep on getting phlegm in my throat that I have to cough out.
Mm.
Anyways, now that that's all gone,
Jesus. It
Are you
just keeps
spitting up a
going.
hairball? What's going on?
He is Blake in disguise.
you discovered my secret. I'm actually a cat girl.
I'm now going to go to Canada and proceed to murder you. Thank you.
Hey,
No,
Courier, let me
I'm
join you on
blonde.
that.
Come on, it's okay, man. It's okay. I'm blonde.
Hey, don't worry. Hey, wait, Captain. Won't Courier then be your rival since you both have that pussy?
They're both gunning for that bussy.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Matt Courier and I, we established that we are good friends. We will both help each other to kill you.
I
And you
want
will
that bussy.
And you will stare lovingly into each other's eyes as you take that pussy.
I want that bussy.
Oh, goddamn. I'm so bored.
It would be it would be so easy to just twist your neck. Just a little crack and your worries would be gone. The girl was a beauty, even with the bleeding gashes on her back. She chanced a look, spotting the two words in the old script that had been carved into the flesh. Faunus, Queen. It was as crude as...
As crude as it would. Here's how
It
to
was
fix the
as
sentence.
crude as it was.
Yeah, if you want to fix a sentence, as crude as it was, Yang understood the meaning. There, your sentence is fixed.
It was as crude as it was. Yang understood the meaning. With the four, there had been enough of a balance that the tensions would not overflow. They would have no king or queen as long as the four dominated the landscape, protectors of the land and the people. You silly girl, you don't know how close you skirted to death here today. If she hadn't been able to track down the girl based on her scent, she probably would have found her halfway useless, fucked in ways that would necessitate a mercy kill. Or another mercy fuck.
They would just find a way to heal our body for floodlights or something.
Or fuck her mind back into existence.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is magical blood later on that can restore your virginity or something. So yeah.
Oh. Please tell me.
Oh yeah, and zero powers.
Please tell me what.
I have a feeling this is going to be a thing in there. There's going to be something that is fucking that reverses age, isn't there?
Reverses age? I mean, yes. I'll put it that way, yes.
Turns them into lollies, right?
No, it doesn't quite do that, but it
Okay,
will make
thank
like a
God.
40-year-old woman make you look like a 20-year-old woman, so...
Thank fucking God. The
No
sad
lollies,
common
no.
fucking trope in anime shit. In hentai.
Don't worry, Els. It's coming.
Oh,
It's
Lord.
the story is still ongoing. There's still time.
Lord almighty. Anyway.
There ain't no lord that can save you now.
No lord but my dick. Fucked in ways that would necessitate a mercy kill. Her master did not deserve a woman who had been used. The definition could be applied to herself as well, she realized, yet she knew that it was different. He had sprung her free. He had pulled her from the muck and the mire, and she was grateful. There is no difference, you stupid whore.
Yeah, she's justifying it in her mind.
Whenever someone helps you out in some way, always pay them back, no matter how small the favor was. Never forget that there is kindness in the world. My former teammate said that we should always keep moving forward. Her
When
dad...
Hitler spared your life, you must join the Wehrmacht.
Yeah, join the Wehrmacht. Her dad had been wise, with the occasional wistful sound of worrying that he gave her. She wasn't used up goods. No, she had some experience. She had been scrubbed clean and given her shots, and her master had told her to fetch Blake. Opening the door for the girl after telling her the business, she looked at the Faunus trained in medical affairs.
Tara looking nervous, a look that seemed to be shared with the medic, whose nose resembled a rugged snout.
Recognize it.
It's a fucking Jew. The poor guy looked like a puff of wind. God damn it.
What?
What about a Nazi? Oh, I'm not. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna make that joke.
I did not see that one coming.
Oh!
What did you? I didn't even hear what you read up.
The poor guy looked like a puff of wind could knock him over. He's scrawny and has a large snout.
Oh god damn it!
It's a Jewish joke. Get it?
Oh, it's fucking terrible. So fucking terrible.
And it's on the nose too.
It's so on the nose.
And it's a giant nose.
It's on the tip of the cock.
We really should have smelled this one coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
I
guess
mean, you're
we
the
just
only one
lost
with the
that.
Jew nose, Kitty.
Okay, no.
Whole thing smells
Shut
like
the
shit.
fuck up, Muppet.
Kitty
Nobody likes
McShacklestein.
Hey, he's not Sheckelstein. He's coming, okay?
My nose is more Roman than it is Jewish.
I have a Roman nose, and not a Jewish nose.
If anything, look at the fucking Germans.
When you realize the Romans sold out and murdered each other over shekels of silver too. Oh
Yeah,
no!
the Romans also sacked Israel, burned it to the ground, created Palestine in its place.
Base.
Beast. Anyways, continuing on. Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Put her on the bed. I'll look at her back. The young master won't be happy. Yang wondered what happened with Master Jean to make Tara look positively nervous. When joining her as Blake allowed herself to be led to the table. A little bit of inflection in her voice. The most lesser faunus would fall in line. She was, after all, not someone who could be taken lightly. Master Jean would want to see her. Jarrah mumbled, and Yang could feel some sympathy for the dog faunus. The young man must be worried for her, he said. He said that he'd be displeased. Yang didn't know what that was. What, displeasure? You stupid whore? The medic winced.
Yeah.
The medic winced. Clearly, the medic knew what was happening. Now, the wounds are deep, cut into the flesh. I'm afraid we can't do much about it aside from applying some bandages.
Hopefully
The
some
medic
fucking
said-
antiseptic.
The medic said. Yang knew that with a simple activation of her aura, wounds would heal up in a flash. The spark within her could make the world a much easier place for her, as it imbued her with the strength to fight. But Blake wouldn't get it. Yang was angry with her. Her constant blathering about faunus this, faunus that, a vindictive side of her wished that Blake had gotten just her just desserts to see the spoiled little princess wince and be made useless. But if Tara is nervous, there was something that she was missing. Why is him being upset such a bad thing? You're new. Well, your boss I know. But you don't know what it's like. Mistress Auburn just selects which faunus she desires for her little fancies, but she isn't careful. One time, Mistress Auburn was hurt by someone who lashed out. It upset the young master, who did not understand. The words were soft, even with Tara's voice light as she spoke. Every faunus was put to death for daring to harm the young lady. That was the official reason. The unofficial one is, you see, he is the only son of the household. Much is expected from him, and he was disturbed for a week after witnessing it. Lady Azalea took offense, and the master of the house heard of it. Yang could imagine what had happened. Only several of the trusted ones escaped the execution. Only several of the trusted ones escaped the executions. They take the pedigree serious, and have an unfit heir, and to have an unfit heir is to be shamed in the world. She
You're-
thought to the gentle young man who looked at her with eyes that were as deep as the oceans that which she had seen during her travel. The soft blonde hair like the rays of sunlight during the daytime. His scent was sweet and yet a little strong in her nostrils where she loved it. Oh yeah, she loves all that scent going right up in her. A flutter in her stomach came again as she heard the faunus woman continue. If you remember, words that she speaks are dangerous. They will kill every single faunus if it happens again. This Anastasia, she is lucky to be just a mere toy for the breeders. Her body is of some use still. Yet she's broken because Mistress Auburn and Mistress Camilla got their hands on her. Camellia got their hands on her. The last name was unknown to her, yet she supposed that she hadn't seen all of the Arc sisters yet. Why won't you fight against them? The cat on the bench said, hissing in pain. Why won't you listen? They're stronger than they are. They're just women. Clearly not. You lost a war, you stupid whore.
Again, you have night vision. You have super animal parts, including
Night
Horse
vision,
cocks.
better hearing, better sense of smell, probably better like flexibility,
That's what
agility. You still
everyone
got your
gets.
fucking asses kicked. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, and then they have their individual gifts. Like some get cat ears, some get wings that
Some-
can carry them somehow.
Some get horse cocks.
This just is like, this is such a weird system. Imagine being the guy that just has a horse cock. That's your one trait. Meanwhile, your fucking brother gets a scorpion tail.
Yeah.
Oh god. that'd
I
be
mean, think of it
hilarious.
this way: you could beat the enemies to death with your cock.
You can okay. Imagine being the dog equivalent of having the horse cock.
Meat mace
have-
+5.
You would have white women lining up down the block.
I mean, Gira does.
Yeah, you
We're
get
not gonna
it
talk-
down the
I'm not going
block.
to talk about Gira, but Gira does have the trait of a male cat, which I'm not going to talk about yet.
The barbed penis.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting into some old Skyrim lore now, or Elder Scrolls lore.
Khajiit.
Khajiit.
Yeah, where it's like the queen of the lands took Khajiit dick, and they were very prickly and hurt. It was Morrowind, by the way.
A flutter in her stomach came again as she heard the faunus woman continue. Wait, I already read that.
Yang growled.
Yang growled a deep rumbling sound. The snouted guy jumped at the sound. Oh! You had to add all that extra information there, didn't you? Oh! Listen to yourself, girl. They're just women. You're a woman too. In case those tits and that fat ass of yours isn't making you aware of it. If you're not for his orders, I would have left you. If not for his orders, I would have left you. The words slipped out before she'd really noticed what she said. Traitors like you will be the first to die. Words were opinionated, yet Yang glared at the faunus girl. Such stupidity. Visvat army.
Opinionated.
Visvat army are we going to take them down? Do you think that a trained huntress wouldn't be able to take a punch? They'll outlast us. They've got weapons. Only a few of the trained faunus huntsmen are in Vale, just because they've got to have their collars refitted. The rest, they're out there, defending the settlements with their owners. She knew well the type of domesticated faunus who had access to their aura and weaponry. They were nothing more than well-trained creatures who were to be used to fight against the grim, often kept as guard dogs, an existence that would never produce anything but a loyal pet. Someone who was broken with doggy
Because they
dick.
just called them dogs of war. And they'd saved like about 20 or so words, but I guess writing by 1,000 words, so.
There had been rumors about surgery done to remove the empathy from them, like
What?
already said they're like guard dogs. Like guard dogs, they wore the collar of a slave, yet with triple the load of dust in it. Collars were linked to their owner, so if the owner's pulse flatlined, the faunus did as well in an explosion of pain and an explosion of their fucking head popping, not pain and agony. They don't feel any of it.
If your head explodes, you don't feel much pain or agony.
Oh, the pain, the agony. Wait, where's my brain?
Yeah, and also that seems incredibly inefficient as well, because what if the owner gets killed in battle by something else? Then the fucking one who's still alive dies? That's very fucking wasteful.
I was gonna point that out where it's like, alright, your master dies by Grim just coming out of the bush and kills him. I was like, alright, you got a perfectly serviceable faunus that has aura. What happens? Oh, dead.
Well, the faunus wasn't good enough to protect their owner from the Grim that popped out of the bushes, so they don't deserve to live.
Obviously.
Apparently that's how things work here. I need to turn up my sound, or my mic actually here. There we go! I am now up to sound.
No, you aren't.
Shush you.
You haven't even increased by a millimeter.
Come on, don't
I
you want to
increased
heal?
I increased on my output with OBS.
Fair enough. The program may believe it, but I don't.
You can fight, don't you? The girl didn't learn as she growled. Because I know better, you stupid bitch. What use would fighting be in a world where they've got bullets and swords and we don't? We are so fucking blessed with a master who doesn't make us do things you would scream about. She was blessed. She was learning how to read and how to respond to humans with status. That was a privilege that not many got, according to Mistress Juniper. You sound as if you've given up. If faunus unite and free ourselves, we will. The little bitch just wouldn't shut the fuck up. Leave us. Her voice dripped with anger as she felt her temper snap. The words carried with it the threat, as the medic and Tara shared an uncertain look. She won't be harmed too severely. It was time for the little missy to understand just where the fuck she stood in this world. Yang Xiaolong had a lot of patience and a lot of care, or at least she was supposed to have a lot of patience, which was getting harder and harder to muster at this point. Yet, she was not going to tolerate a revolutionary girl who should just keep her fucking trap shut. Need to fix my chair. Fixing my chair.
Let's get a new chair.
No, it's my... The piston in it depresses far earlier than it should. Okay.
Oh god, I'm almost grinding through 300 bodies. Please stop coming.
Oh no, I'm coming. I'm coming again. I'm always coming.
Shut up, coming.
Oh no!
Stop with the fucking Marvin the Martian voice.
I'm coming again. Oh no!
Oh, Queen Tyranny, Queen Tyranny.
Oh, Queen Tyranny, I'm coming again. I'm coming again, my queen. I'm coming again. Oh!
Sonic, run! It's gonna drown you.
This white stuff is gonna drown us all. As the door shut itself, she grabbed the girl by the neck. The bare form of the girl raised up. Listen here up, because I'm going to say this once. You are not free. You are a slave. Your master, bless his kind soul, cares for you enough to send us to look for you. Your acting out is making the rest of us nervous. That stops now. Her voice inflexed with the threat of direct punishment. The girl wanted to speak, yet Yang dominated the hierarchy. She was a proud daughter of
Tai Yang Xiaolong, a man who had been free once upon a time, had been trained to be a huntsman. He was the man she looked up to as her father and dick doll, and she knew that she looked up to Master Jean as also a dick doll. You will treat him nicely. No rapist or racist or whatever from you. You will treat him as if you would treat him as if you would treat your father. Kindly, happily doing what he wants you to do. If he
Stop comparing it to fathers.
If he tells you to tongue his... Especially with what comes next. If he tells you to tongue his asshole whilst I'm blowing his dick, you better be nudging that prostate, you little kitty bitch, or I will be upset. The words held a fire as she looked into those golden eyes. She was well aware that her eyes were now a deep crimson color, more serpentine than human at this point, yet it was a known it was a known effect during her rages. And you're going to cut that shit out. You're going to be the best fuckpit that you can be, because that is all you will be. I will tell him that you are not to learn how to write or how to behave around humans, because you're not versed. You are a dumb animal, and you need to be taught. Her hand squeezed the girl's throat above the collar as she fixated that look on her. Those thoughts of revolution. Stuff them away. Not a single breath of rapist from those lips, unless he's into that kind of play and wants you to struggle. And even then, I'll be watching you. His dick is now your fucking god, kitty. Because if you hurt him in one way, I will find you. I will find you, and I will end you. No matter how much it hurts me, or how quick I get executed for it. She wasn't for speeches, but she would protect what she cared for. You're going to obey. You're going to be the little sex kitten of Master Jean-Arc. You're going to be the good little lewd slut that you can be, because I know that he would be happy with it. Call me a traitor, betrayer, or whatever. She exhaled, feeling her lungs fill with the heat, and then hissing lightly. But I am not a woman who stands beside a hypocrite who cannot see how good she has it.
Somebody called Blake a hypocrite. Woo!
Yay!
Only for fucking chapter. Alright, calm down, Wookie.
Yang looked at Kitty.
That sounds like a Wookiee having a hand on his mouth getting raped.
Yang looked at Kitty as she seemed to not get the message. You're dumb.
Kitty, get the message already.
I know, even they're insulting me.
Even the virtual characters are insulting me. Please help, Daddy.
You love him, don't you? Yang frowned at the accusation. The tingles in her stomach continued, even with the accusation. You dirty The throat was shut. She stopped herself at the last possible moment before Blake's head would be popping off her neck. Anger flared inside her. Zip it. Seriously. Here I am trying to tell you how to keep alive, and you go around making stupid shit up. What I think of the man isn't important. That hate inside you? Fucking use it for the other guys. He's nice. He fed me meat. That's good. Some of us don't know what the next meal is. Some of us don't know when the next meal is coming, and acting like an uppity brat just makes it worse less. The girl didn't know, nor did Yang want her to know, that the words that she spoke felt false. She might have a bit of a like for him. Yes. He pulled her out of a bad place and had given her clothes that fit. Traitor! Why should the furnace? She felt she'd slackened her grip during her speech, closing that throat again. Pulling the girl close, she wondered briefly if the marks on the girl's throat would be gone before she'd get Blake to the master. The claws had come out, she noticed, but that mattered little. Blake would get the care of a medic soon enough. You really are stupid. Did your mom drop you on the head a few times? Speaking of the tiger is bad enough as it is. Don't let them know that you've been in contact with that sort. She knew that speaking of such things was bad enough. Ao Gong. Right? Ao Gong might have perished, yet he has done right for the world. He showed us that we could fight. The tiger calls all to the crusade. The words were incendiary, yet she let go of the girl. Better find out what she knows. The tiger, eh? She shifted her body language to one of intrigue. An easy trick. If you wore heels. It was all in the tells. This girl doesn't know jack shit about how to live amongst people. She's got so many tells of her moods that it's like playing with a child. Daddy taught me, said that it was how Mom acted when in the kingdom. Said it'd be useful one day. She calls us to war, sister. Your speeches of trusting the humans are merely falsehoods, leaving us open to enslavement. Yang bit her lip, trying to cut the snarky commentary out of her stance as she frowned. Her eyes returned to the regular coloring as she let the aura dissipate swiftly. And you were a part of the tiger's little group? She questioned, with the hint of an actual interest in her voice. She could see the hope in the black-haired fauness's eyes.
Eyes.
I pity you. The white fang had been the sword of the tiger. Father was the previous leader, so I have taken his seat. The grandson of the ox is with us too, so I am unsure whether he was captured or not. Adam is strong. Yang stiffened, mainly her clitoris.
Yes, the clitoris.
Oh, holy bullsicks, this isn't a revolution, it's a fucking jihad!
You're just fucking figuring that out now there, girl. Okay.
Yeah, good
Cool.
job, thought. Thinking isn't her strong suit, despite being a thought.
This is literally just... I can't imagine what's going through this writer's head as they're going, alright, I need to make it feel like she's being... Actually, who are we supposed to sympathize with? Are we supposed to sympathize with Blake? Because
No.
every chance they give
You're
us,
supposed to
it's
sympathize
like,
with nobody.
Look, the language here indicates that Blake is supposed to be seen as an absolute fucking insane person.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly
And she
because
is.
they're dropping fucking jihad when they're likely an American, and anybody from the West thinks of jihad as a bad thing.
oh, that's an actual line in the book? I thought that was you.
No. Quote, oh, holy ball sacks, ... this isn't a revolution, ... it's a fucking jihad, end quote.
Alright,
Yeah, and jihad basically means
It's
when you're
crusade
translating
in...
it,
It's crusade
is
in,
the people who are fighting it are completely zealous in their ideals to the fact they would willingly kill themselves to do what they're fucking supposed to be doing, which is fighting the enemy. The
jihad
infidel.
is just holy war in,
yeah, but
Arabic.
like, yeah, but
Arabic.
I'm
in
grabbing my sword
Arabic
here.
it is.
and
In Arabic, jihad does mean holy war, but what they expect you to do during a jihad, at least for their culture,
It's what the word has come to mean. Like if you go up to somebody and say, I'm really gay right now or whatever, yeah, they're probably, I was going to say the term gay can mean happy or whatever, but if you say that to somebody nowadays, they're probably not going to that's not the first thing that's going to pop into their mind.
No, they're gonna think you're a
yeah,
faggot.
like we associate jihad with a holy war, yes, but we also associate it
I
with the
am
people
so
in said jihad
fucking
are fucking
done
insane.
with this shitty novel or shitty fanfic.
Let-
Oh
Let's
fucking,
just
me and
fucking
Courier
continue.
suffered through reading this entire thing, all 53 chapters.
If we can suffer, you can suffer, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Let's just-
I read it while I was taking a shit, so at least
Let's-
I could, you know, exit the pain.
Listen, I don't need to hear about your constipation, Cap, here. Let's just continue. The term had been introduced from vacuo, speaking of a holy war. To see the girls immediately trust her with such vital information, such knowledge, just because she was a fellow faunus. This girl is dumb as a sack of bricks mixed with cement. She already didn't value Blake highly. Just to blurt out that you know two of the leaders of the faunus was stupid. The veracity of things was such that it would be hard to check, but the girl seemed to be convinced. And what was the tiger's name? Sienna Khan, a glorious fighter of our kind. The adoration in the girl's voice was sickening. She could just imagine that it'd be some sort of lure for her to join that cause. As if she'd want to be associated with a bunch of assholes on a power trip that smelled human blood. Dad said something about Genghis, gorgeous, whatever her surname is. If her surname is Khan, it's likely her. Genghis Khan, hee hee hee. So clever.
Clever, very clever.
As much as a monster of Genghis Khan actually was, he was pretty even-handed in how he dealt with his own people.
Yeah. Fuck. Wait, fuck. This wasn't great news. I need to reread that. Fuck. This wasn't great news. One of the four was bad enough, but two of them were working together. We can escape, sister. We can join the revolution together. The kitty thought that she was being convincing. Yang hadn't survived for as long as she had by being stupid. I should fucking hope not. Cute.
You'd be surprised.
Real cute, Blake. Her smile was as fake as the anger that bubbled below her surface was
Was the anger fake?
No, it was real, that anger.
It is so poorly written here. Her smile was as fake as the anger that bubbled below her surface was angry.
Oh,
Nice sentence.
You lick.
Very nice.
It's literally a water is wet statement. It's a water is wet comparison. This girl was crazy. She would throw away a place with shelter, decent food, and even clothes. I'm not reading the actual word there. For a simple war, yes. She killed people. Humans, undoubtedly. Let us work together. Wait. Let us work together, Blake. But follow my lead, okay? It was treating her with the kid gloves, but she knew well that Blake Belladonna could never be allowed to be alone with her master.
oh gee, you fucking think? When you got goddamn jihadis among you, miss?
I know. Wait. I know how things work. Yang killed that little surge of empathy inside her for her fellow faunus. Just act a little. Walk along with me. Bear with it. She was playing a dangerous game as she brushed her hand through the other faunus girl's hair. The mark on the girl's back slowly starting to scab. That is way too soon.
I almost cut my tip of my finger off on a fucking mandel, and it took like 3 days for it to start to scab. Fuck you.
Usually it's like an hour for small cuts for me, but like that is insanely fast.
For giant like bleeding, ripping wounds on the back of your back, yeah.
It'll take a long fucking time.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's still not bleeding.
Super healing.
The marks on the girl's back were slowly starting to scab over now, which was a good thing. Queen of the furnace, what a fucking joke you are. We're going to give him a good time. Blake's eyes were filled with conviction. We're not going to hurt him. Yet.
The words were treasonous and cool, yet she felt her own nerves steady. Is this an important break? Calm down. Wait for the moment. And I'm going to show you why the world is like it is. The strong survive, the weak perish. The greedy smile on her fondest friend's face was there, yet... Friend? She's a friend now!
Yes, friend.
Well, I think probably ironically, I don't.
Already needs to be telegraphed. Yet Yang only felt a deep-seated disgust. Such a pretty girl, yet so weak in spirit. Have you truly gotten to the point where you think you can agitate against humanity? She was not going to let this girl lay a hand on her master. Yang Xiaolong stood with the ones that had earned her favor. She was no Tai Yang Xiaolong, retired huntsman and freed Hannes, but she was his daughter. And then we'll have him. Yang smiled. It was what the girl needed. I'll have to make a few inquiries with the Lady Juniper. She got along decently with the huntsman Ark's sister. There was a certain respect between her and the older sister of her master. Your foolish wish for supremacy will die a swift death, Blake. A swift. Blah! I'm gonna skip that.
Blah.
A swift.
Kablah!
Corfidorf. She would protect what was hers. Her father might have told her to never do that, but Yang never held much respect for the rules. She might not know it fully yet, but her heart had already gone down that road of lava from the flaring embers of that affection that had been shared. Eyes that were a deep lilac color had gazed upon a mountain of gold, and she had accepted it as hers. A giant golden dildo.
Man, she must have been playing some interesting Minecraft.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
I mean, who hasn't played Minecraft where they got
And
enough
built a
gold to
giant-
make the gold bricks and just made giant gold dick statues?
Yeah, even fucking
me.
Yahtzee and Zero Punctuation did it, man. No shit.
I haven't fucking done it. Jesus, what the heck?
I
Well,
don't
see,
why people do that.
man, you get the proud feeling because you had to work for that giant golden dick. You had to mine all that gold. out of
I'm
the
just
ground.
gonna point
Like,
out that I
there's three
don't mind gold at
there's-
all.
There's 3 different fucking things that every Minecraft player...
Minecraft.
Excuse me. There's 3 different things that each Minecraft player does at least once while they're playing Minecraft. Number 1, they
Die.
make a cobblestone hovel, which is their first dwelling. Number 2, they make a doom fortress, because they have to have like a giant skull or something. And number 3, if they get enough gold, they make a giant gold dick. Because
I've done
why not?
none of those things.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Probably no.
You have no fucking Minecraft like spirit. Fuck you, kitty.
Where's your Minecraft spirit, kitty?
Where's your fucking autism to do all these things that is super chuny view of us to do? Why do you take your virtual Lego seriously, kitty? What do you
I
take?
don't know, because you're a fucking autist and you should be playing with Legos.
He can human better than you can, Cap.
Uh-huh.
Nah, hurry up. The fucking fire department is here. Fucking treat me for my heart attack.
He waited, a little nervous for the time that it lasted. Tara entered the room. Your slave is being kept at the medic's office to be treated. Master Jean, please accept my most heartfelt apologies. I should have been... He waved it off, knowing that Tara would need some... He waved it off, knowing that Tara would need some punishment, yet leaving that up to Saffron.
Amazing.
Said woman was currently seated on the...
Yeah, have fun. Have fun.
Oh,
it only gets better.
no!
It only gets better,
No,
motherfucker. It only
fucking
gets better. Keep going.
no.
It only gets better.
Oh, no! Oh!
Kitty, I love that sound.
Yet leaving that up to Saffron. Said woman was currently seated on the bed, driving the Faunus slave that she'd plucked from the staff down onto the phallic tool that she had in her groin, a harness keeping it there. And that's how little the mutts feel about themselves, Jean. You'll need to assert yourself. Show them who the boss bitch is in the room. That was just him, and Saffron was an That it was just him and Saffron was an accepted fact, even as the girl wet herself, the stretching of that rear hole of her, leaving her to roll her eyes back.
Oh, we doing this. We doing this.
Anal rape time.
Bro, we haven't done nothing yet. Keep going.
You're kind of terror, though. The words made Saffron flinch, even as she pulled the girl off her tool of pleasure. The Faunus opened her mouth to say something, but Saffron flipped her over, driving the shaft into the tight nethers. The gag was stuffed back in after Saffron had taken it out to hear the pleas for mercy. She's different. Tara? Kiss. Her sister made a kissing motion with her lips as Tara came closer. The Faunus woman was uncertain, her gaze never quite resting on him as she kissed his sister on the lips. She's my personal Faunus. He would point at the hypocrisy of that if he had any desire to upset his sister, but he knew just how much Juniper would explode if it was even hinted at publicly that Saffron was into women. Saffron had always kept herself to Faunus, who hadn't really had the rights to refuse, but he wondered about his sister sometimes.
Again, in a universe where just slavery is just fine and dandy, why are they homophobic of all things?
Why do they care about lesbians when, historically, not a single fucking culture has given a shit about lesbians?
It was always the gays.
It was
Lesbians
always men. Always men. Because a lesbian would still fucking impregnate, or could get impregnated. And that was not exactly uncommon.
Men would spread deadly disease by being together.
Yes. And there's also the issue of that you don't want your fighting forces to be basically hospitalized from having their assholes torn open by a rapist. Yep. And you also don't want them fucking each other on the battlefield.
That too.
Anyways. Put a baby in her, Sean. His sister asked, turning Tara to him. Tara's eyes met his own, and the woman shuddered. Breathe, the little bitch, because you can. He caught a vision of blonde hairs and a warm smile, eyes that were a faint purple color, lips that were red, a bosom that could only be brought up as a blessing of the gods. So giant fucking tits. Giant fucking tits.
Babunga milkers.
Bazongas. Massive hodonkas. Gigantic gazonga-honga-longaroos.
My titties? My bonga-garoos?
My titties, my massive fucking milkies.
My milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours.
Yeah. And he really wished that his erection would go down. She was his pet, his toy, a girl that he had bought home on at a whim because she was just a piece of property. He wasn't supposed to imagine. Tara's hand brushed over his groin. Master, please, I'll be good. Her voice was a soft tone, her gaze resting on him from below as her hand stroked over the outline of his bulging groin.
I don't want... I don't want to, Tara. The woman recoiled as if she'd been hit. Saffron frowned a little, even as the fondest girl she was busy with screamed really loudly into the gag that had been forced into her mouth.
Yeah, I remember as this is all going on, Saffron over there is just casually raping some chick.
Casual rape.
Casual.
Brother, fuck me. I prefer not.
Brother, I need you to fuck my slave. I'd rather not. Oh no, he doesn't want to fuck my slave.
Brother, I am pinned here. I don't wanna.
Stop, brother, I am pinned.
Avenge me, brother! Brother, avenge me!
Avenge me!
It's just the reason they gagged her is because she's just shouting a bunch of 40K references. She's trying to give an essay on the history of 40K, and they're like, nope.
Nope, we don't want to get copy
Hey, Jean,
struck.
you ever heard of incest?
What?
Is it one of the lines, "Hey Jean, you ever heard of incest?"
Yang entered, taking sight of the situation and smiling. She looked sexy, her clothing barely mussed up. I think...
Must.
Her eyes twinkling. I've retrieved her, Master Jean. The way she said his name was like a lightning bolt hitting him out of the blue. Lightning fast erection time.
Lightning bolt.
The way she said his name was like a lightning bolt striking him in the cock. His erection flared against his pants, surprising Tara, who looked at her. Good girl. The blonde licked her lips as she ignored Saffron, only having only eyes for him. There are like 4 fucking ways to write that sentence, and this is not one of them.
Of all the ways to write this sentence, you chose the wrong one.
We'll give you some service together, all right? She gave Saffron a look, nervous and skittish. It was clear that she didn't want to talk very much, but he figured that he'd talk with her. Seth, we're going to my room. Tara will accompany if you don't mind. His sister's eyes looked worried, even with Yang giving her a soft smile. Of course, Jean. If you want Junie to be present, The worry in his sister's voice was worth a laugh as he shook his head. Junie has enough problems, sis. Blake needs her master. The silly animal needs to be educated. She's not a good girl like Yang here.
At least he admits it.
He knew that some pets needed re-education. Cammy had always said that there should be a good hand in the hair and a firm rod against the buttocks for slaves that needed to be re-educated.
That's gay.
Master? Wait, Master? Yang's voice was husky and almost breathily. Breathily.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
As her hand grabbed hold of his penis.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I changed the word and I'm not going back on it.
Groin to penis, okay.
She grabbed his penis.
I grabbed it with the gorilla grip pussy.
I'm your good girl, am I not? The question was natural to ask as he smiled. Oh, you're better than Blake. She's so stubborn. It's like she's never been given the rights of her people.
Also, lol, it's not a gorilla grip pussy, it's a dragon grip pussy, get it right?
She's not a Dragon Ball yet, shut the fuck up.
He felt Yang's fingers slide over his penis, her eyes looking at him. I'll make her obey. She's just stupid, but not too stupid.
No, she is that stupid.
Her nose brushed against his penis, inhaling the scent deeply. Some faunus had sensitive noses.
All faunus have sensitive noses. We haven't seen one faunus in this fucking story that hasn't, so fuck you.
I can smell the scent of cock.
I'll never make you sad, I swear. I'll make you smile and happy, and even if you beat me. He laughed as he patted her head between the antlers. Why should I beat a good girl? Now, Blake may need a bit of a correction. The faunus were just in need of guidance. They had lost the war after all. Why shouldn't they be given the same rights as any animal and trained properly? Master, may I fillet you? He noticed that she'd tried to use... may I flash you? He noticed that she tried to use the formal word for oral sex, Saffron's eyebrow perking up lightly. Juniper spoke about it. Juniper spoke about it. I guess... Juniper spoke about it. I suppose she's heard the term. It wasn't unusual for a girl like Yang to learn the high language, so Saffron dismissed it. It was his little secret with Yang. Maybe with Blake. Maybe in a bit. I want to see Blake. The blonde's head nodded, her fingers patting his groin. I want to see that big, hard faunus tamer, master. He blushed a little at the words, imagining Yang in a similar position as the girl that Saffron used for her entertainment now. It was not a bad idea.
Hey, Kermit.
He wanted to see Blake, and if she wasn't a good pet, he might have to discard her. A sad thought, to discard the girl who had been his first time, and, well, his only time, but it was what a man should do. If she can't behave... Cardin probably wouldn't mind taking her. His last faunus had apparently died during her breaking in.
Died by cock.
Cock!
A cock so good you fucking died from it.
Humans shouldn't care about their faunus animals after all, yet Yang
was special.
He wished once more that she had been born a human. Yeah, because you'd be dicking her down every day.
Or if she had longer ears, I think it would be all over.
Focus number one. Blake felt the soreness of her back, the wounds still carved into her flesh. Humiliation and pain were still the dominant emotions that... Pain is not an emotion!
Pain. The emotion of life.
Hey, how you feeling? Pain!
Hey, I've answered
Well, I
like
feel in pain.
How is today? Pain.
Hey, buddy, how you holding up? Pain!
Oh, this fucking fanfic is gonna kill us.
It's gonna give me the fucking coof.
Gonna give you.
Blake felt the soreness of her back, the wounds still carved into her flesh. Humiliation and pain were still the dominant emotions that she felt, though her heart had lightened a little, knowing that the brutish blonde dear faunus had seen the truth. Don't mind me. The tiger was strong, and the ox had always been able to call to the heart of the people through fucking mind control. She believed that they could make the change happen. She was not going to let herself suffer for some blonde guy whose raping cock would be defiling innocent faunus women in the future. You're not innocent, you fucking whore.
You're a literal jihadist.
You're a fucking terrorist. It is moral to rape you.
You should tell that to Blake in the actual show.
I was about to say, that's a fucking quote right there. You're a terrorist. It's right to rape you.
You're a terrorist. You don't deserve human rights.
That would be fucking spicy quote to drop in the EU. The terrorists, it's moral to rape them.
But I was apparently his first, and he was my first. The nagging thought of that made her hesitate, even as the door opened and the motherfucker... the motherfucker, with his fancy clothing and his scruffy blonde hair, walked in, flanked by the dog trader and the blonde who was her fellow slave. She couldn't feel the hint of oppression from the blonde... She couldn't feel the hint of oppression...
I think she means Yang, but they're fucking Yang and John are both blonde, so it doesn't really fucking work.
I know. She is talking about Yang. It's obvious, but... She couldn't feel the hint of oppression from the blonde anymore. The brutish strength there, yet the expectation in the blonde's eyes was real. She felt a stab inside her, perhaps an after effect of the painkillers that they had forced into her system. A little thought of, what if? Ah! Blake! Her rapist said, with his eyes looking at her with fake kindness. It was so easy to see their lies. They would lie to you, and then they would hurt you. It was like Adam said, Sienna had been wrong. Are you okay? I was worried. She caught Yang looking at her sharply, and she focused. Making herself smile, she bowed her head. Thank you for your concern? Wait, thank you for your concern? The formal tone that slaves had was hard to mimic, even as he left. Come on, you silly kitty. Let's head to my bedroom. She mentally added, for another raping, to the end of that sentence, knowing that he would undoubtedly force himself onto her once more. Just treating his manhood with his mouth was not going to work. That is not how you fucking use ellipsis.
So that's what you're focusing on.
Listen, bad use of ellipsis here pisses me off than the crappy smut.
Or just the shit dialogue in general.
Yes. She
You're
was
astounding, kitty, every single time.
She was a proud faunus. She knew her rights. You don't have any. You have property rights. The rights of property. She nodded like a meek little sheep, following after him. His hand brushed over her shoulder, and she stiffened. Why is there a fucking random apostrophe here? There's just a random apostrophe in the middle of it.
I think that apostrophe is supposed to go to the sentence, like the next sentence or whatever. If you look, there's like...
Oh my god!
Apostrophes. They just got left up there.
No, it's the text giving us a chance to run away. Now's the hand. I'm holding it back.
I'm holding it back. Run.
Stiffened, period, space, apostrophe, enter. Is he going to force me against... Is he going to force me against the wall? Is he going to violate me? She got aroused by the thought! The deep, dark part of her realized, as she could imagine it for an instant, he had a face that might be better on a faunus with some nice antlers or something, but it was... No, it wasn't Blake Belladonna who would be worshipping him like he was some god, as his raping cock violated her throat hole and made her feel like she was just a rabid animal, because it's what you are, you stupid whore. Oh, gods, I should stop. The thought got her heated. This girl has a rape fetish.
No fucking shit, kitty. No fucking shit.
She wants to be raped. Holy shit.
No. Oh my god. How did you...
Stop the fucking presses. Holy shit. The thought got her... The thought got her heated. She could feel his fingers touch her. His touch set her aflame. It was harder to describe than And the feelings felt? Ah, sorry. You must be hurting. Don't worry. Everything's gonna be just fine.
You forgot the last click at that.
No, the finger guns are only for the ellipsis.
Okay.
It's how I'm fucking using them now. Every time there's an ellipsis and Jean's speaking, he's gonna be finger guns. He seemed to care. The raping scum. He sounded like he did. Confusion warred inside her as Yang's hand patted her shoulder. There was something inside her that welled up, a warmth and a feeling. She'd felt it before, with Adam. They'd never gone further than a few kisses out of respect for her father. The man still owed the right to give her away. What? That is such bad phrasing.
For marriage, whatever.
According to the customs. I see, Master. She felt... Wait. I see, Master. She felt twisted. She was leaking now. Just because of his touch earlier. She could smell her heated lips leaking, and she didn't know why. Oh, Lord Almighty.
Okay, I'm just because this fucking thing does a horrible job of explaining this.
She's horny.
Well, that too. I'm gonna explain it right now, though. Fucking Yang, the fucking Dovahkiin Dragonborn or whatever, because she's fucking, she's part dragon. Well, apparently, she has like when she wants to, she can like extend like these claws or whatever from her like hands, and her claws. Apparently she has like a venom, but the venom works in the stupidest way possible, where the venom serves as like an aphrodisiac or something. So every time it's like Yang is like, like patting her on the back or like holding her shoulder or whatever, she's like injecting venom into her.
She's
with her claws.
Injecting aphrodisiac. That is so stupid.
Yeah, that's like her venom. It makes no fucking sense. You have to read like 30 chapters and then reread it 47 more times in order to actually understand what the fuck is happening. But apparently that's what's happening. So
You do that though.
The pinpricks on her back.
I was just fucking confused until somebody in the comments section later on explains it.
Thank God.
Okay. She could smell her heated lips leaking, and she didn't know why. The pinpricks on her back were back. I want to laugh and I want to cry at that statement. The things on her back were back. No had returned or presenting themselves once more or some other statement that serves the same purpose but isn't literally repeating the same fucking word twice, but no, back and back. Leaving her to feel the sensations slip through her body. She felt so needy. Yeah, you're my pet, Blake. Even if you're a bit naughty, every cat wants the bed for a few weeks. Every cat wets the bed for a few weeks.
What the fuck?
Wait, I have to keep going. Every cat wets the bed for a few weeks. Even though we never really had a cat. Mama's allergic. She sneezes every time she's around them.
The finger gun click thing is just so fucking good because it just makes it fit so well with the character that you got, where he's the fucking fast talker or
the fucking voice.
Used car salesman shit.
She should feel offended, yet there was only a quiet need inside of her. It was not like the aphrodisiac of before when he had raped her pussy. Her pussy. No, it was different.
There's just a quiet voice of need inside her going,
Pussy. Fill my pussy.
You got a hole, you need to fill it.
No, it was different. There was a burning inside her at his words, even as the blonde dauphiness gave her shoulder another squeeze, a pinprick of nails digging into her flesh as she was told to remain silent.
Yeah, there we go. That's where she did.
It's hole. It's my hole. Let me fill it.
She's dedicated to the cause. She licked her lips. She felt weird, fluttery. A sensation inside her welled up, one that wanted to serve the blonde, wanted to make her gasp and moan happily. She had She had shown strength. She'd shown power. Her tongue licked over her lips. What was I thinking about? They reached the house and were walking through the hallway, several of the slaves looking at her. She felt embarrassed, knowing that she reeked of the need. She rubbed her thighs together, knowing that she was in need. Everything felt uncomfortable.
Reading is uncomfortable.
You're not the one reading this, bucko. He opened up the door. He opened up the door for her to get in, and she did, nearly sprinting to the bed, her bare form leaning over the bed. Fuck me, please, Master, fuck me. Her mouth made these sounds. Ah!
I will take my inheritance.
Not because she felt the urge to act, but because she needed it. She felt so hot, so needy. Blake! His voice was low, and she could feel... Wait. Blake. His voice was low, and she could feel her heart thumping harder. Clarity seemed to slowly come with her again, as she suddenly felt a hand on her cheek, tugging her face aside. Lilac eyes looked into her own. It's okay, Master. She's needy. Happens sometimes with the female faunuses.
Feline.
With the feline faunuses. It might be. She'd never really spoken to her mother about these things. The rustling of cloth was enough, even as she felt so weak and helpless, like a kitten that was getting its love from its father.
Oh,
It actually says mother, but I'm going father.
oh, thank God.
A weak little creature that needed a strong man to protect it. And that's why I went with father.
Oh, God, please stop.
Now
Come,
we're gonna
sweet-
keep going.
Come, sweetheart. Spread your legs for the man who owns you. The words that the blonde busied were soft and made some sense, yet somewhere she wondered where the flames of revolution burned as she was ensnared in a kiss. Her legs spread slightly more, and she could feel his cock pressing against her needy slit. He's going to rape me again. It's not rape you wanted. In fact, she even asked for it. She gave consent.
Fucking click. Click.
She felt so turned on suddenly, the arousal inside her welled up like an overflowing geyser, her eyes rolling back as Yang's tongue invaded her mouth. A low moan came from her lips as he thrust himself in. I'm not going to give up. It was really hard to think as she felt his cock caress her tight inner walls. The sensation made sparks jolt into the edges of her vision, her whole body throbbing with the need. I will not. I will hold out. He'll trust me eventually. She was going to... What will I do when I have his trust? Something about a revolution? What revolution when his cock felt so good? Why do I struggle? The question arose as Yang broke the kiss. Her mind felt like it had been doused in cool water as she breathed heavily. No. He's a raping asshole, and he's... The slow thrusts, the rocking of her body. Her pussy leaked the fluids over that hard cock. She felt the sparks tingle at the edges of her vision as her mouth made a slow moaning sound. Yeah. Blake! Her master's voice sounded in her ears. The voice of need, of love? Why? Why would her rapist love her? She felt herself clench with that gorilla grip pussy. He drove into her, and her eyes rolled back. Yang's fingernails dug into her neck as the blonde kissed passionately. Why should I resist when it feels so good? Serpentine eyes filled her view as she felt her body jolt and shake. Low moans came from her throat with every pump of the master's cock as her cunt drooled with the liquids of sex. Those eyes never left hers as she felt a deep passion spring up within her. She felt dirty. She'd never considered other girls before as partners, but now her eyes were filled with purplish her eyes were filled with purplish eyes, almost serpentine in nature, almost hypnotic. He came inside her, and she came, her mouth drawing out a moan, even as the blonde broke the kiss. Hearing her master moan her name like it meant something special was special.
Beating words.
The raping bastard. Was it really rape if she enjoyed it? No. The kissing had been nice, and he had sounded so happy with her. Was I wrong? This thought dawned within her before her rationality asserted itself, Yang looking at her with a look that clearly spoke volumes. No, everything will go according to plan. We'll make sure that he gets what he is owed. She wasn't sure why, but the thought of being together with the blonde Delphinus came to mind. It was a sultry thought, one that made her tingle, yet it was
One that
an
makes me want to
engaging,
murder small children.
an engaging thought. I'm going to behave. Yes, behaving would be a nice thought. As her owner pulled out of her, she took a look at his manhood, coated in seed. That's not how cum works. The smell made her What? The smell made her nipples even harder. The dear faunus moving over swiftly, looking over the head. Good girls! The blonde liked that. She could tell. There was a shiver that worked down her spine, like it was a gratifying thing. Why do I feel like I'm supposed to do something? Under normal circumstances, Blake Belladonna would have made a comment about raping scum, but now she couldn't muster the energy. Her hand traced over her stomach to between her legs, her fingers spreading the lips and then dipping deep into the honey pot, pulling the fingers out and licking them off. The taste was salty, yet it didn't feel too out of place. I'm just gonna let that hang there for a moment. Those of you who've had sex will know why that's not accurate.
Should taste like a rotten fish.
It should have a bit of a different taste from that, actually, but...
I don't want to even start with this. Let's just move on.
Let's not discuss this. We are 2 sentences away from finishing.
He's raped me. Yeah? It was uncertainty now. She had had an orgasm, and she didn't feel that bad, aside from the pain in her back. But why didn't she feel like she could muster the energy to rear up against him and hurt him? And that's the end of that one. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm not going to start the next one.
Aww. It's only like 5 in the morning.
No, you're not going to read the author's note at the end.
Oh, I'm going to read that now. I'm just saying I'm stopping with the reading of the actual chapters.
Aww.
Blake Belladonna versus Yang Xiaowang. Yeah, Blake's going through one hell of a drug trip right now. Well, at least she has a friend in Yang. She can trust a fellow faunus, right? Right? Since I'm a few chapters in, I thought I'd ask the people, what makes this story an interesting read? It isn't. Because I'd like to see what makes the setting interesting to you guys. It isn't. That's always a good thing to know.
The
I don't
interesting
know.
thing about the setting, well, I want to murder everybody in it. Is that an interesting thing?
What if the story is secretly based? Because so far it's just been about bleaching jihadist women.
It's just been about fucking... Actually, that's it. It's just been about fucking.
Yeah.
That's all that needs to be said.
And like I said, this story starts out. I don't know why you would start the story off focusing on Blake, only to have Yang pop up 4 chapters in, and then suddenly the story focuses on her instead. It's fucking weird.
Because Yang is a more
Yeah,
interesting
and
character.
also the level of sexiness that this book has is about on par with watching flatworms divide. That's about it.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing that's appealing about this at all.
Is Blake?
Even if I probably bet even if you had like somebody who had like a rape fetish or something, they'd probably just like put the physical copy of this book down, take a deep breath, and say, "Yeah, I'm not feeling anything."
Yeah,
That's how
and also,
badly it's handled.
Is Yang more interesting than Blake, or did they just give Blake like no character in the show, and so nobody can fucking ever do anything with her?
Blake has no fucking character, period.
Her only character is just, I was part of ISIS, but at least I didn't become ISIS.
Her
I was
character
gonna
is
say
literally I am ISIS.
she has the most tragic backstory, and yet she has the fucking least like interesting fucking character. How do you do that?
What tragic backstory? She had a loving family. She willingly took part in race protests and took part in terrorism. Left her home, like abandoned her family to join ISIS, and then fled back home when her connections eventually, that she also fled from, eventually caught up with her.
Yeah, and guess what? Nothing ever happens with that. Nothing fucking ever happens.
She's the
God
most
damn it.
spoiled bitch out of all of them. If anything,
You could
Yang
have
has the
some
most tragic
discussions. You
backstory.
could fucking do something with it, but they do nothing with it.
Yang has the most tragic backstory if you want to go with tragedy. Wait, her mother just fucking abandons her and her father becomes a drunk.
And even then, the characters are still fucking insufferable.
Yep. Which is realistic because women are damn insufferable, am I right, gamers?
Jesus.
You know what the best? You want to know what the best part is? Sienna Khan was actually the best character design and stuff, and they didn't ruin her by having her around for a long period of time. They introduced her and then immediately killed her, so they don't have a chance to fuck her character up.
Or
Fair
just
enough.
fuck her character in general.
Yeah. And then they
Though-
killed Adam off, and then they killed everyone off, and then something happened.
Killing off the terrorists is probably a good idea anyways.
Yeah. Oh my god, I fucking... Never mind, I'll save that for later. I read something about the new fucking thingy, and it made me laugh.
Oh yeah, I saw the preview for season 8 where it's like news coverage and No Hunter just says go fuck yourselves. Take part in the fight itself just watching it on TV, and it's fucking hilarious.
No, I read a synopsis or whatever in the first episode of the very, like, volume 8 or whatever. Apparently one of the counselors is, like, makes it, like, protests or whatever against Ironwood declaring martial law. Ironwood's response is to pull out his revolver and just fucking shoot him in the head. And then toss his body off of Atlas, and I'm like, wow, okay.
That is kind of fucking based.
So we've I just want to remind everybody this. We've gone from like this paranoid, yes, but like this calculating, smart, slightly empathetic individual who saw a fucking chess piece on his desk and then proceeded to fucking become Hitler.
He became ISIS.
Because there was a chess piece on his desk. I want to remind you, everybody, this was because there was a fucking... Cinder left a fucking chess piece on his desk. That's what spurred this all. That is the fucking spark.
For Ironwood to go fucking apeshit bananas?
Yeah, a chess piece on his desk.
Don't board games make you turn into Hitler?
Occasionally.
I found that
I
every
mean,
time that
the
I
one thing that
started
made
playing...
Hitler become Hitler is because he wasn't a good enough artist.
Look. Every time that I play Yahtzee, for some reason, I just feel like giving those fucking sea Kyles, you know?
Yeah. And also
like...
despite season volume 7 ending with like the invitation that Atlas is gonna get completely destroyed because Salem, all their like weapons and shit don't work, and Salem arrives with their giant grim army. Apparently volume 8 is gonna be exactly like what I fucking said it would be, which would be fucking Team Ruby recreating Red Dawn and fucking shouting Wolverine to the goddamn sky or something. I don't fucking know.
But now that we're
At
done...
least Red Dawn was actually tolerable.
Yeah.
Now that we're
I
done
fucking called it.
reading that schlock, that absolute fucking garbage, we can stop now for the night.
I can link you more garbage that's shorter if you want.
No.
I can link you shorter garbage.
No.
You sure you don't want? You sure you don't want to read? You sure you don't want to read about fucking Team Ruby dealing with fucking menstruation? You sure you don't want to read about that?
You're kidding, right?
He's
No, I'm
not
not
kidding. I don't think that he's kidding, and I don't
No.
want to read it.
Never. When I'm talking about shitty fanfic that makes you want to kill yourself, never assume I'm kidding.
Noted. That has been.
Oh,
It's
I'll link you it
even-
later, Lau.
It's even the funniest thing, dude. You could send that to me. I'll fucking suffer through it because I'm not
No,
a fucking coward.
don't even suffer
just
through it. Just skip to the last. Skip to the last
Masochism
chapter.
tango, dude. Masochism tango. This is
Yeah,
nothing.
skip to the last chapter. That's the one with the weird menstruation shit.
Masochists are not brave people.
No,
Being a masochist does not make you brave.
no, it
It
doesn't.
just makes you a fucking punishment slut.
Where
You are
where
a
did
mad
the
whore.
where did that come from, Kitty?
Because Cap said that he's a masochist and that he's brave. Because he'll read
I will
things that
suffer.
make him suffer.
To
I
be
will
fair,
suffer
Kitty,
through
you have
things
to be
that you
slightly
won't.
masochistic to be reading this as well. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you brave.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that you aren't brave because you read shit that's terrible. That just means you're a fucking slut for punishment.
Or you're just really fucking bored.
No,
Yeah,
you're just a
either
slut for
or.
punishment.
Unless you
Both.
watch all of Gundam, at that point, yeah, you're just a fucking slut for masochism.
I mean, isn't that what you did because you fucking love
That's the
Gundam?
joke, fucking loser. Trying to make a joke and you fucking ruin it every
to be honest,
time.
man, to be honest, I could never fucking watch the entirety of Gundam because there's so many times I could watch fucking giant mechs do giant mech things without it getting fucking boring, and I'm just like,
Oh,
I'm
it's
just gonna go do
great.
something else, like play some video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what's called loving a genre, Captain. Maybe you'll learn of it one day. Then you can stop referencing The Simpsons every 5 seconds.
Oof. I can feel the burn from that over here, damn.
Woo!
Just what? It's basically just me saying, read another book,
Watch another show.
read another book, watch another show, play another game. Just please get new reference material.
Hold on, I found the passage. Hold on, I'm linking it now in
Oh,
voice
oh.
chat.
Oh, fuck off. Kitty, you're reading that. I'm not reading that shit.
Oh my fucking god.
I hate everything so much. Woo!
Open quote. It's
One
fine,
thing I-
Hyper. It's fine. It was my bad. It's fine. End quote. 6 groaned, comma, the images of period blood running down Ruby's bare legs still fresh in his mind. Period. Open quote. You good now? Question mark. End quote.
You good now? Just somebody has blood running down the legs. You good now?
Just reminds me of that fucking image of the two M&Ms. You good now? No.
Nah. Oh god, Courier, you are a fucking masochist. What you are.
I can get you more quotes.
We're all fucking mighty, please no.
I hate everything.
Oh, you hate yourself, clearly.
I know, I do. I clearly do hate myself. Here you
Too
go.
much fucking
Wow,
self-respect
Cap.
to read all this garbage.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I can make my entertainment without having to subject myself to brain damaging
Thank you.
materials.
Let's see what other great quotes I can find in this chapter. Hold on.
Great quote.
And when I say great, I mean I want to fucking blow my brains out.
Hell, just look at the fucking shit I have in writing posting. My own work.
Oh yeah, I still gotta read that. Come on.
But
Come on, bitch.
with all that said, I'm gonna be stopping it here.
Wait, do we have-
Awesome.
The people who watched, I'm sorry. I'm
I'm
very
so sorry.
sorry. This is fucking awful. I'm so
No.
sorry that you sat
To the-
through all this. And
To the people who fucking read this, you asked for this. You knew what was coming.
No,
I'm
they
not going to be
exactly
victim blaming
didn't.
here.
If you came into this series and like didn't watch the first few ones that we've uploaded, then you're an idiot. But if you have, you knew exactly what you were signing up for.
You
Yeah.
knew what you were
Fair enough.
signing up for the moment Blake said, "Caw."
I'm still going to fucking apologize with this. Besides,
No.
there's something else I'm going to ask you for that I have to apologize for. Like, subscribe,
Fuck
and
you.
make a comment.
No.
Go to hell. Just for that, I am unsubscribing to you.
This loses 5 subs.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Go fuck yourself. You ain't booty pie.
Bro fist the screen really hard, guys.
Just punch right through it. I knew that was the reaction I was going to get, so I was preempting it. Anyways, have a good night.